Last week, GogojOey and MeomaikA faced each other in a TVT in the grand finals of GPO.
Yeah, it was something they agreed upon as well. They were just kind of sick of playing so many ZvZs against each other. The week before that, they had a PvP.
That they did. This week, I'm gonna ask GogojOey if he wants to PvZ it up. Just because I remember, if you remember, that's something that Joey wanted. But they settled on the TVT. But you know, now we have, if they face each other in the finals, that's something that I would love to see.
Yeah. It's something.
Especially because he was honestly feeling confident with it. He was like, "Yo, my Protoss is pretty good." So
we need a Rey de las Razas with him.
So random versus random is what you're saying.
Exactly. As we continue our or start off the series rather on Light Shade LE in the bottom right hand corner map, starting all the way to the bottom right hand corner. The red Zerg player coming down for the land of Vietnam. He is La Grand Platypus himself, the Pelican case question mark, the cat avatar. He is representing Intensity Esports. We have MeomaikA.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Light Shade LE, currently getting 12 pulls, we have the blue Zerg player, currently teamless. Someone pick this man up, man. He's so good. He's the best player in all of Hong Kong. It is GogojOey.
I'll be real honest with you, like, when you told me to install the flag mod, I did not realize that the flag Hong Kong was gonna mess me up when GogojOey picks blue.
What do you mean?
Because it's red.
It is. It is red. Did you want it to be blue? Did you?
No, I mean, just like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get red, MeomaikA sees red. And as he said, he goes for that 12 pool. No expansion coming out from MeomaikA whatsoever. He is going super committed with this.
Yeah, this is very interesting. He's trying to sneak his lings across the map, try and bypass the overlords going through the center. And it looks like he should be able to, but this overlord looks like it is in position, and GogojOey does spot the lings.
And now all he's got to do, hold and be at an economic advantage for the rest of the game.
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
See if he can do that. MeomaikA has been fine-tuning his 12 pool. Specifically his Zergling micro, to be able to maximize the amount of damage he does to the hatcheries. So, admittedly at a bit of a cost to losing a couple of these Zerglings, but still.
Yeah, it has happened before, and by the way, MeomaikA is ultra committed with this. We have a Bailey Nest on the way, no base whatsoever, so MeomaikA is looking to end the game early and finish his opponents, whether he kills GogojOey or he himself falls. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's a 50-50 scenario, and that's a lot of links going down from both sides. Really, the hatchery still stands tall, but not anymore. MeomaikA able to even out the base situation. Even supply cap and GogojOey a little. And now we just get ready for round 2. MeomaikA starting to get a couple of these Banelings up. And to be fair, I think GogojOey should fare decently well against Banelings. He's got his queens out already. Especially if he's able to deny some of them.
Oh my god, he denies one. He almost denies a second, but it just barely finishes up in time for MeomaikA. He only has 2 Banelings left though. Meanwhile, the spine has been completed. We have 2 queens as well, ready to wall off the ramp. This is getting harder for MeomaikA. MeomaikA even droning up a little bit.
But to what end, really?
Oh, that is the question.
A little bit surrounded. Oh, wasting one of these Banelings on the spine crawler.
Yeah, it was being focused down by that spine. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, he was looking to try and get us around on the queens. He does get one queen. The Baneling is coming in. Ooh, he does force the links back.
Yeah, that's really another advantage of having the Banelings. You just use them as a zoning tool. And with that, MeomaikA has found enough of an opening to break on through. There are no more links to GogojOey aside from the ones in production. MeomaikA still wants to be careful. He doesn't want to push into that mineral line where GogojOey can just mineral walk him.
Well,
So he
again,
just goes to attack the hatchery again.
like there's so much pressure on MeomaikA. He has to kill this hatchery again. Like, he still does not have a base of his own. His drone is ready, and there we go. The base does go up, but he needs to kill the base of GogojOey. Otherwise, he's so far behind. Oh my god, he has to. He
needs to keep that Bailey
the
alive. He will. He does, and it's Ducklings.
Oh my god, that was not meant to happen. Oh my god, at the same time, the queen was able to survive on 3 HP.
And most importantly, that hatchery's still well alive.
Aye. Things were about to go so well there for MeomaikA. He was going to kill the queen. He was going to chip away at that hatchery. Meanwhile, he still gets the queen. He dives in with 2 lings. He gets it. But GogojOey, as you said, he still has the hatchery. He has that lead going for him, and now he can start applying some pressure.
Going across the map, just like so. MeomaikA trying to catch a couple of these isolated Zerglings. And he will be able to do so. It keeps GogojOey, it prevents GogojOey from doing any major counter harassments, but not enough to prevent him from getting a nice scout out.
Exactly. GogojOey, he manages to get in. He sees the natural. He sees the main base. He sees that, hey, you've droned up. You have the Roach Warren as well. Doesn't see this. Oh my god, MeomaikA. God, I love him so much. All right, what's it gonna be? What's the lair for?
Nidus.
All right.
Nidus.
I'm saying Muta.
Muta. Muta?
Oh, Ling gets denied. The reason why I think Muta is because the gases are starting to be taken, and so far we don't see any roaches being built, so maybe MeomaikA is trying to save his gas for something. We'll see. It could be Nidus. I would expect a couple more queens if it was Nidus, but hey, more gases are being taken.
Yeah, slowly but surely.
Up.
Doesn't see a 3rd gas. Okay, he sees that it's empty. 4th gas, I mean.
Oh, and I want to say that what just happened just influenced MeomaikA's decision. I'm not too sure, but MeomaikA just saw that GogojOey scouted him, so he's like, okay, I'm not going to go for anything crazy. He sees my early lair. I'm going to go into Roach speed.
Nah, he was always going for Nidus. Roach Nidus, I should say.
Oh god. And yeah,
a little more back and forth ensues.
Yeah, the Lings of MeomaikA get in. He gets a nice scout. He even gets a couple of drones as 2 drones go down. My god, almost a 3rd. But he sees the Evo chamber researching. He's well aware of that. He sees that, hey, there's still no 3rd base for GogojOey, so economically, I'm even slowly getting ahead because MeomaikA is going for his own 3rd. And things are kind of equalizing. We're getting into a longer game. After a crazy beginning.
I did not expect that, yeah. GogojOey gets MeomaikA. Of all series, this is the one that gives us the longer games.
Oh god, after the 12 pool opening, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's so
fair.
Yeah, it's so impressive that MeomaikA was able to survive and elongate this game as much as he has been and kind of transition into a more mid-game scenario. We do see he does have roach speed. He even morphs in a couple of Ravagers so he can start biling down some of these Overlords.
Just like so. Get that supply cap.
Oh yeah. He does, of course, reveal to GogojOey that, hey, I do have a couple of Ravagers out here on the map, so he has to be a little bit more on top of keeping his Overlords alive, a little bit more adept.
And preventing GogojOey from getting much information on the map. Unless... Oh, man.
That's so close.
It really was.
Oh.
It morphed just a second before the bio landed.
But it looks like the Overseer will just barely survive. He will get into the main base, get a nice scout off, see that there's no additional tech, there's no Spire, get a nice eye on those gases. Meanwhile, MeomaikA is pushing out into the center of the map, does get another Overlord.
Again, really whatever he can do to weaken GogojOey before committing to major push. GogojOey is now ahead on the upgrades slightly. MeomaikA has started to catch up. They're actually missing one another. MeomaikA sees this now. Does he turn back?
Oh, he does decide to turn back, and I don't blame him. This is a quite scary force. He wants to make sure he's able to defend and then go for the counterattack.
Speaking of counterattack, GogojOey is using a straight up attack coming down. He notices the pincer coming up, and he tries to back away, but he underestimates the amount of roaches MeomaikA really has coming in for that flank. And now he's supposed to back away. MeomaikA going to be taking this all the way home. His upgrade is going to be finishing up, and he's got 11 roaches in production light.
Oh boy, that he does. Right now, we are equal. Both players do have +1, but MeomaikA does have a massive supply lead, and it's going to get even higher as time goes on. Unfortunately, got another supply block for GogojOey.
He's just slowly been starving out this game, light.
Oh my god.
MeomaikA should be able to take this. Lands a bile.
He didn't
And
just
it's
land
not a whole
one.
lot GogojOey can really do. He's fighting into the concave. That's how you know he does not favor his chances anymore.
Exactly.
GG's called.
Does get cold, and MeomaikA does take the first game in this best of 3.
Yeah, we are still in the upper bracket, so there is the opportunity to series prepare, or series plan, or series adapt, rather.
But yeah, just god, I love that game there by MeomaikA. Just the way he was able to execute that 12 full. Sure, he didn't kill his opponent because GogojOey is just so good, but the game transitioned and MeomaikA was able to keep that lead, right, with his base, with that army supply advantage, just consistently supply blocking GogojOey really struggling to keep up with his army. Nicely played.
It really was. I gotta tell you, if you told me 10 minutes ago that MeomaikA was gonna fail that 12 pool and GogojOey was gonna have enough resources to counterattack, I would have said, yeah, GogojOey wins that game. Apparently not.
Apparently not.
If only it was that simple.
It's never that simple, mate. Not when it comes to these players.
Simple is the, wait, was there ever a player called Simple? There was Symbol, but...
Yeah, there was Simple, but Simple? I don't think so. I imagine there is a Simple in other esports, but I don't think there was one in StarCraft.
It's probably a Simple that uses like a number 1 simple letter L.
There you go. There you go.
I vaguely remember that, actually. Where's that from? It's from something or another.
Oh boy. But here we go. We're getting ready for game number 2. It will be on Death Aura.
Or
honestly,
just Death, if you prefer.
And honestly, I'm surprised. I'm surprised we're not on Submarine.
Really? Well,
Of course.
I would say I feel like Submarine isn't necessarily the go-to for these players, you know? It's more of they know that it's a little bit of a controversial map, and if their opponent isn't really comfortable in playing on it, then they are more than happy to just exploit that. Which they might as well, really. Anyway, here we are now on Death Aura LE. It's starting to strike you like a thunderstorm. I was trying to go for some like Heart Rock inspired thingy with my intro, but I think I missed a couple of words. In the top left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the blue Zerg player coming out from Hong Kong. He is the best player to come out from Hong Kong, which is why it's so perplexing that he's still kind of teamless. He is GogojOey.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Vietnamese Zerg player. He is red, representing Intensity Esports. Already up 1-0 in this best of 3. Can he close it out? It is MeomaikA.
Not going for a 12 fool this time.
Yeah. Both players expanding, going for their natural bases. MeomaikA going for a bit of an earlier gas, but not by much.
So the big question is, who's the first player to get a third base?
Honestly, from what we've seen, GogojOey does tend to stay on 2 bases for that little bit longer. And maybe
focuses a bit more on his tech.
Yeah. So maybe MeomaikA, he can take advantage of that a little bit, you know, maybe expand a little bit faster. Death Aura, it is a little bit larger compared to a map like Lightshade, so you can get away with that, and even if your tech is a little bit later, you have enough time to get enough roaches out to defend, especially on Death Aura, where there are plenty of ramps, plenty of choke points.
But that is far, far off into the future. And by far off into the future, I mean like 5 minutes from now.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we don't see these players. I say these players. We don't see MeomaikA too often. Go for Ling Bane. We see it every now and then. Obviously, we did see him 12 pool earlier in game number 1. But we'll see.
But it also like a proper Ling Bane, though.
Yeah.
There's like, you know, scales and degrees, you know, of Ling Bane.
That there are.
What could be really considered.
Yeah, when I think of MeomaikA, I do think of a player who usually, more often than not, would rather get into roaches.
And that's for good reason, because MeomaikA, more often than not, does go for roaches.
Oh boy. As GogojOey does sneak into the main base with his lings, but doesn't find too much damage whatsoever. Interesting. Fun fact, MeomaikA actually didn't make any lings this game.
But he's getting ling speed.
He is.
Unless it's a fake out.
I guess what I should say
is gonna come in.
Yeah, something that is very uncommon in this matchup that MeomaikA is getting away with is just defending with pure Queen. Again, he didn't get any safety lings whatsoever, and because of that, he was able to invest that much more in drones, and that's why we see that slight drone lead.
And so you can tell that MeomaikA and GogojOey have played each other way too much. As MeomaikA knows what GogojOey likes to go for in on Death Aura. Does still need to be careful.
Oh.
Because the lings are already starting to get a queen. Not enough energy whatsoever for transfuse. The safety lings of MeomaikA just gonna be taken out just like so. GogojOey will confirm the third base of MeomaikA.
Oh, that he does.
Away. Probably regroup and get ready for round 2.
He does force MeomaikA to make a couple of lings of his own, even have safety bailing less to make sure MeomaikA doesn't fall to any kind of crazy ling flood. So nicely done there by GogojOey, even sniping a queen earlier, as GogojOey is going into his roaches.
Which is what we really start to expect coming out from these players. MeomaikA switching things up a little bit, going for an early Spire, but he has been doing this pretty consistently the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, even
now that I think about it, I feel like, yeah, exactly. Now I think about it, I feel like he mostly does on Death Aura too. Ooh. That's a juicy link connection.
Oh yeah, juicy connection there by MeomaikA. Again, it's not like he's going straight into that Ling Bane phase, just a Baneling here and there, just to see whatever he can get done. But what he's really saving up for is that Spire, are those Mutalisks, and GogojOey hasn't scattered this yet. He does see the mass Lings, and he sees that there still aren't any roaches for MeomaikA, so it is a bit of a tell.
But what does it tell GogojOey as he starts to get surrounded? There are nowhere near enough roaches to really provide the surface area denial. Starting to really isolate themselves, but they are tanky enough that they buy time for the rest of the roaches of GogojOey to come in. MeomaikA will get out of there without killing any drones.
But you know what he did kill?
At least one queen.
Exactly. He killed the queen. There is no anti-air here at the third base whatsoever. And the mutas are popping out.
GogojOey has no idea what's coming his way. I'm looking at the minimap right now, Light, and GogojOey, his overlords are pretty dang close to his own side of the map.
Yeah, honestly, it's a little bit surprising. Like, if we look at the vision from GogojOey, he doesn't have anything even close to the halfway mark. Very surprising here. And he's going to be punished for it because the mutas, they're coming across the map. And sure, MeomaikA, he can pick off a couple of these overlords. And if they wanted to, they could have gone into the mineral line. Again, there's just nothing here at the third.
MeomaikA has a lot more juicier targets in mine, namely this main base, as he pulls every single drone off of mining.
There's nothing here.
And now he's going for natural. There's no spore light.
Oh god, not like this! Not like this!
I'm shaking my head so hard. He's starting to get a couple of spores now in the natural main mineral line and third base. But he unburrows just at the wrong moment. Thankfully, there are queens here to push them away. But 13 drones have gone down. GogojOey has to move across the map right now and get something done. But again, look at all of the lings here, Light. They immediately surround the roaches.
Exactly.
I would not be surprised if GogojOey taps out after this.
Exactly, GogojOey. He just went for a Hail Mary play. He was trying to maybe get some damage done, get something done with his roaches, but everything got cleaned up. Now he's forced to stay at home and defend. He's throwing down a couple more spores. He's trying to turtle up as best he can, but is it going to be enough? This Mutacloud, it's ready to just go toe-to-toe with these spores.
Just like so. Well, not exactly, but...
Yeah,
he's still juking around, finding the angles where the spores can't quite cover the air. And he is punishing GogojOey for it. There's no gas being mined from that base light. And it's kind of important when you're going roaches.
Oh yeah, exactly. Not just roaches, but also if you plan to go into something else like Hydralisks, which I imagine GogojOey may want to do. There we go. We have an infestation pit on the way. Are you feeling infestors?
You know what? I am, actually.
Will the game last that long?
Was it? That we'll see. Couple good... you know what? I think we saw a couple of times throughout the events that we casted a response to mutas and void rays from Zerg. One of them is Vipers, the other one is Infestors. I don't think we've seen a player do both yet. Throw down the fungal and get the parabomb in.
Yeah, we haven't had the luxury of casting that yet. Will we get it here today against this Mutacloud? Maybe, it's possible. GogojOey is already going for the Hive. He's going for the Hydras as well. I'm just afraid that GogojOey doesn't have enough gas to work with. Like, MeomaikA's done such a good job at being so annoying and harassing the gas geysers of GogojOey.
And that is just delaying GogojOey's tech even more than it already was. He's even getting a couple of... Okay, I think I got the Overlord. But no, he's still getting a couple of stray drones. This starts to add up over time. And as you see, GogojOey has lost 21 drones throughout the course of this game.
Oh boy, and now MeomaikA is going to be able to come in here not just with the mutas, but also with the lings. The lings looking to get us around on the queens.
And they're not quite able to do that. There are a lot of queens over here, and they're bunched up enough together that they aren't really getting too surrounded, but the transfuses are starting to run out. The mutas are starting to rain hell. And these roaches don't shoot up.
Yeah, and every single queen that does go down, and with that, the Mutalisk flock is just, it's an apocalypse of Mutalisk here. Yaku, as he's able to take out every single queen.
It's only 20.
Only 20. He takes out the queens, he takes out the Hydras, and the spores. There just isn't enough anti-air, mate.
That there is not GogojOey going for another Hail Mary, but if it didn't work earlier when MeomaikA wasn't at the height of his power, it's not gonna work now.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out here for GogojOey. He does split up his roaches, but there are lings here to help clean up. The mutas of MeomaikA do hunt down the remaining roaches.
Actually, you go right past them.
There we go. Bit of a move command, but he does turn around. And what is the plan here for GogojOey? He's working on lurkers. He's working on vipers. But they're not out yet. And even when they do pop out, he needs to gather energy.
Yeah, it's not too ideal here. More Hydras are starting to come in, but I'm just looking at a gas bank being immediately spent by GogojOey. And it is not a pretty picture.
Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, he does have 2 Vipers. They are slowly gathering that energy. If MeomaikA isn't on point with his splits, then maybe Power Bombs can deal a lot of damage. But I mean, I have to imagine MeomaikA, like, he shouldn't have too much of a problem splitting up his mutas.
I mean, Zling Bane is something to go off of.
True.
And this is probably GogojOey's best bet, but MeomaikA is still being pretty conservative with his mutas. Doesn't want to overly commit to anything, just get some harassment here and there, and then force GogojOey to tap out. That's been the strategy throughout the entirety of this game, but the actual tactics are evolving as the game goes on.
Oh yeah. Speaking of evolving, we do see MeomaikA is switching into roaches. We do see 1-1 on the way. Meanwhile, the power bomb does land. There is a split.
Oh, but he does split, yeah. Are both of these infected? Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I believe it was only 1, but regardless, the power bomb was dealt with by MeomaikA. Oh god, another power bomb doesn't get used.
Yeah, GogojOey's just waiting for the right time. Parabomb doesn't fully kill the Mutalisk. 2 Parabombs, I think, will, if you manage to actually target different Mutalisks together. But what you really want is to get them low enough so your Hydras can just one-shot them. Which so far GogojOey has not been in a position to do. And now he's going to be in an even more precarious position. That Parabombed Mutalisk got killed immediately, so MeomaikA just backs away.
Yeah, that can be one of the problems with Power Bomb, as MeomaikA does deal with it. The Roach Ravager on the ground is pushing on through the Hydras and the Queens. Unfortunately, GogojOey, like, where are the lurkers? There's only 1 lurker here with the main army. Like, that's not enough.
Well, MeomaikA doesn't have his detection in position just yet, so
True.
Maybe,
Yeah,
I believe in you, lurker.
He does need to move his overseers a little bit more forward. The ground army of MeomaikA is slowly being thinned out. Ooh.
That was not the best time to really unburrow and reburrow. MeomaikA is starting to get chased away a little bit, but I'm just waiting for the reinforcements to get here, because MeomaikA is still double the army supply of GogojOey.
Yes, as we see, MeomaikA is going or switching into Roach Ravager. Plenty of roaches on the way. Finally, I was waiting for it. We do have an Ultralisk Cavern on the way for MeomaikA. If MeomaikA hadn't spent a lot of his resources on Roach Ravager, I'm sure he could have gone here a little bit faster, but he is here with the main army who can just contend against GogojOey.
So MeomaikA's going Ultralisk. But he's getting 2-2 range. Or
Yeah.
+2 range, rather.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me either. Don't worry about it. Like, normally when you go mutas like this, if you're MeomaikA, you go Mutaling Bane and you go into your melee upgrades, and that makes the transition into ultras a little bit smoother, right? But because he's going to roaches and he's like getting range upgrades, it doesn't fully make sense. I don't know.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but roaches don't actually have the range to shoot over ultras, do they?
No, not really.
Ravages might? I'm not too sure on that one.
Well, the problem is that that like Roach Ravager is so like clunky and so like beefy. It can be a little bit awkward controlling ultras just because they like collide with them so much and they're like trying to get past them to get into the Hydras. But we'll see how they contend against each other. Ooh, nice position here by GogojOey. Does trade pretty well in that choke point with his lurkers.
That was a lot of AoE, and I'm glad I could see that. A massive bloodbath. MeomaikA not neglecting his own spellcasters. These Vipers are going to be invaluable against some Blinding Clouds on the lurkers, or potentially even a Yoink. Or 2. Or 5.
Or 5. Oh boy,
Or 10.
I'm just a little bit concerned because I feel like MeomaikA probably could have closed this out a while ago, and he just hasn't been able to do it just because of his army composition and his army positioning. Like MeomaikA just lost the base to the bottom left, and he's about to lose another one. Oh god.
Yeah, GogojOey is really, that was a kill, not a cancel, and GogojOey has hardcore broken out of his contain earlier on. He is expanding as greedy as possible. And this is not the best army for MeomaikA to be fighting.
No, it's not. And MeomaikA, he lost his Vipers as well to the Hydras. He does have a decent amount of Ultras, but like I say decent amount. He only has 4 and they are going down. Oh my god.
That's the power of lurkers. You can get all of them on top of the Ultralisks. It is not even an issue. +1 melee is finally gonna finish up.
Look, I don't want to say MeomaikA's throwing, but MeomaikA's kind of throwing right now. Like, GogojOey's back into this. GogojOey, he got a couple of bases up and running. Like, he's dodging the biles. The lurkers are being phenomenal here against MeomaikA, and
that's a lot of lurkers, and they are raining fire on top of these ultras. Look at how quickly they evaporate, even if chitinous plating and +2 armor. I am perplexed, like, not even perplexed, I'm perturbed. GG is called. GogojOey takes this game series into the ace match. That was a perturbing, is perturbing a word? That game left me perturbed. MeomaikA had it for the longest time.
I need a moment.
I need a drink. That's false. I actually need to stretch.
What did we just... Just MeomaikA was all over the place. He didn't know if he wanted to transition into Roach Ravager, if he wanted to go into Ultra. Honestly, like, he was doing so well with his meters. If he wanted to, he could have gone into, like, Corruptor Broodlord. Like, there's just... I don't know, but he could have gone into Ultras a lot faster, a lot sooner with those upgrades as well. There was no Ling Bane to deal with the Hydras. I don't...
I feel like that was the scenario of MeomaikA just going, you know what unit I haven't made in a while? Ultras.
I feel like there's a reason for that.
Flashbacks to MeomaikA versus V-Stork.
I'm shaking my head. I can't even shake it. I can't. There's no head to shake.
Yeah.
The brain is melting.
It's gone.
It's falling apart.
It's falling out. It's falling out ahead.
Oh no.
Sounds like, you know what you need, Light?
Some Dare Ice coffee.
Yeah, try the new. Actually, don't know what the flavors are anymore. Haven't sold out to Dare for a long time.
Barracuda Cold Brew.
Ah, Serenity Blend.
I'm not gonna keep going with that. I was like, I know we're both thinking of the same tea from Carolyn. Oh boy.
Hoping I could nudge you in that direction, but no, you didn't take it. Anyway, speaking of nudge, we are now concluding our upper bracket finals here on Jagannatha KBBLE, coming to you in a format. I don't remember. My brain is falling out. That was the game we witnessed. Hopefully, we'll see something that will restore our brain power here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. The red Zerg player coming down from Vietnam. He is representing Intensity Esports. We have MeomaikA.
And spawning in spawning in the top right hand corner of Jagannatha ALE, we have the Blue Zerg, hailing from the land of Hong Kong, currently teamless, but tying up that series. Things were looking dire for him. The mutas were on scatter. They were doing so much damage. His roaches were doing nothing. He counterattacked twice, if you recall, with those roaches, and they did absolutely zero damage whatsoever. He was losing queens. He was losing drones. He was stuck on 3 bases. But you know what? There's always a chance. There's always a chance your opponent makes ultras. And that chance happened. Exactly. He tied things up. We are in the ace match. It is GogojOey.
Entropy here in the chat. Ultras are -400, -400.
Yep.
Not always, but definitely in the hands of Mio. I don't believe I've seen him use Ultralisk effectively ever, if I'm being honest.
I've seen him do it against like Piglet in ZvZ and lose, I think. If you recall, that actually happened in G Fuel. Piglet was actually
week,
yeah.
I've seen MeomaikA use Ultras in ZVP.
Oh yeah,
not effectively, but.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, Ultras in ZVP, that's actually a bit of a, I don't want to say niche, but that is actually a solution that a couple of Zerg players do just to deal with High Templar. You know, get the Ultralisk to evade whatever Sky Toss there is and just hug the Ultras and not worry about AoE. But I've seen MeomaikA do that when his opponents don't make a High Templar, but they do make Immortals.
Yeah. Just that's all I got to say about that. Meanwhile, we just see GogojOey. He does dive in with his Lings. Was unable to get to any drone kills whatsoever. MeomaikA was on point with that. Meanwhile, MeomaikA did open up with an earlier pool, but as we see, it was just to pump out those queens as soon as possible. He's got plenty of them, and ooh, he's pushing away the slow Lings of GogojOey and getting banking up quite a number of Lings.
This is the Mio special when it comes to Jaga and Natha. He loves the speed zone maps. He's going to be sending them Queen's Fort as well. GogojOey trying to juke around. And finally, he sees the Lings are going his way. But is it too late? I mean, MeomaikA's already on the other side. A lot of the RB supply for GogojOey right now is still in production. And MeomaikA's just joining up after, beyond this.
He is joining up behind this. The Lings of MeomaikA are across the map. He's trying to deal whatever damage he can, looking to maybe surround the Lings of GogojOey. GogojOey looks like he may give up this space. The hatchery is getting quite low.
Yeah, he's really gonna have to.
Yeah, and that's the price you take when you skip a Bailey Nest.
It really is. But on the plus side, GogojOey is working on his +1. He'll be able to get it a lot quicker than MeomaikA. There is an opportunity for him to counterattack, especially considering how hard MeomaikA is focusing on his economy and his tech at the moment.
Exactly, like this could catch MeomaikA off guard. There it is, the Bailey Nest is on the way. Of course, as you were pointing out, +1 melee on the way for GogojOey. He could plan to go into Mutas behind this, but yeah, we do see those Lings are being banked up, and GogojOey, as you said, could maybe catch his opponent off guard and take the third, or maybe even take the game.
That's definitely going to be the hope, but MeomaikA is keeping a couple of Lings here just to spot what's going on. Potentially get that third base once again if he notices GogojOey moving a little too far to the other side of the map. Yeah,
and GogojOey, he hasn't made a drone in a long time. He has been making nothing but Lings. He's ready to go across the map. Meanwhile, MeomaikA does push forward and he actually spots the morphing banelings. Is that enough of a tell? It's hard to say. Oh my god. Meanwhile, GogojOey move commanding a little bit there.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. The Lings are of MeomaikA starting to slip into the gap. The banelings coming forward!
God, the Banelings do connect with the Lings of MeomaikA. MeomaikA is forced back, and GogojOey will secure his third.
That was one of the juiciest connections we've seen in a long time, Light.
But to be fair, MeomaikA doesn't care too much about his Lings anymore. He has plenty of roaches as they are moving out across the map. Even the Queen's waddling alongside them.
And roaches, they shrug off banelings like it's nothing. I mean, banelings can sort of soften up a couple of these roaches, but you really need something to clean up behind that, and GogojOey does not have it.
Not at all. The roaches are here, and +1 helps a lot when it comes to surrounding roaches with your Lings, but I don't know if GogojOey has enough Lings.
This is the critical mass of roaches that you want if you're MeomaikA, and these Lings are doing a really good job of thinning out the herd, but MeomaikA's just coming in with the rest of his reinforcements. He doesn't even need roach speed. He's using those speed zones.
Exactly.
And it's not a whole lot for GogojOey to do. Production's being camped.
Yeah, the problem is that GogojOey was able to thin out the herd, but there is still a herd. And GG gets called. MeomaikA does take the game. Takes the series.
Once again, going to be our first finalist. Whoo! And that was our scheduled GogojOey versus MeomaikA ZvZ of the Grand Platypus Open. If it happens again, they might not play ZvZ, is what I meant. Here's open.
Here's hoping. They may not. They may not. We'll see. We'll see. Again, we've been having a lot of fun with the finals for MeomaikA versus GogojOey. We've had TVTs, we've had PvPs. Maybe we'll have something else special planned. Maybe. That's solid clown fiesta there, mate. Oh boy. But we will see if we even get there. At the moment, as always, or I say not as always, but this is becoming more
as
frequent.
Usual.
This has become more frequent recently. The only players left are our 4 Zerg Southeast Asian players.
That means we have nothing but ZvZ ahead of us, but there's some pretty interesting ZvZs, to say the least. None of these players play similar to each other. Oh boy.
Exactly. Currently, Ender is going up against Demi in a best-of-1 series. The winner will go up against GogojOey, and that is the series that we will be casting. I
am so curious as to how that's going to play out. I feel like we're getting a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors when it comes to our Zerg Muta triangle players. You know, GogojOey beats Ender, Ender beats MeomaikA, MeomaikA beats GogojOey. Demi is kind of a wild card in all of this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially because he's been inactive for so long, but he has made his return recently. How will he do against players like Ender, like GogojOey, like MeomaikA? I have a lot of faith in Demi, but we see earlier today he did struggle a little bit against MeomaikA, but maybe he just needed to shake the rust off a little bit, you know? Maybe he just had to sharpen his teeth.